This is Bunuba country, one of the most rugged, ancient, and beautiful places on Earth. But in the late 1800s, it became a battlefield. A young Bunuba man named Jandamarra would rise from these cliffs and become a legend. To his people, he was a freedom fighter. To the British, he was a dangerous outlaw. And to history, he stands as one of the greatest guerrilla leaders Australia has ever known. This is the story of Jandamarra, the man who fought an empire. Before we begin, if you love uncovering hidden, dramatic moments from history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts. It really helps us bring you more stories like this one. Before colonization, the Bunuba people lived across the stunning gorge country of the Fitzroy River Valley in Western Australia. Their lives were deeply connected to the land. Every waterhole, every rock formation, every animal had a story and a spirit. But by the 1880s, that world was being torn apart. European settlers were pushing deep into the Kimberley, claiming land for massive cattle stations. To the Bunuba, it wasn't empty land, it was home. And when the settlers came, they brought violence, disease, and forced labor. Jandamarra was born around 1873, near Tunnel Creek. From a young age, he was caught between two worlds. He was Bunuba by birth, but as a boy, he was taken to live with European settlers. There, he learned to ride horses, shoot rifles, and speak English fluently. He even worked alongside police as a skilled stockman. To them, he seemed like an ally, but inside, he carried a conflict: loyalty to his people and connection to those who were destroying them. By his late teens, Jandamarra was working as a native tracker for the police under Sergeant Bill Richardson. But when he saw the cruelty inflicted on his own people, arrests, beatings, killing, something inside him changed. In 1894, the police captured a group of Bunuba men, including his own uncle Jandamarra. They were to be taken to Derby in chains. That night, Jandamarra made his choice. He turned on his employer and shot Richardson dead. Then he freed the Bunuba prisoners and disappeared into the wild cliffs of the Napier Range. The resistance had begun. For the next 3 years, Jandamarra led one of the most remarkable guerrilla campaigns in Australian history. He knew the land better than anyone: the caves, the ridges, the secret waterholes. He struck like lightning, ambushing police patrols, freeing prisoners, stealing weapons and supplies. The settlers called him Pigeon and whispered that he was bulletproof. Rumors spread that he could vanish into the rock, that spirits protected him. The British forces were humiliated. They sent dozens of armed police and native trackers to capture him, but he always escaped. Jandamarra's war wasn't just about revenge. It was about freedom and protecting his people's right to live on their land. By 1895, the legend of Jandamarra had grown. The Bunuba believed he had the powers of a Kurungal, a spirit warrior. He could appear and disappear at will, his footsteps silent on stone. The settlers were terrified. Even newspapers in Perth called him the Black Ned Kelly. But unlike Kelly, Jandamarra wasn't fighting for fame, he was fighting for survival. His last stronghold was Tunnel Creek, a vast cave system stretching under the limestone hills. This would become the scene of his final stand. In 1897, police closed in on Tunnel Creek. They had a new tracker, Minko Mickey, another Aboriginal man. After hours of silence, gunfire erupted inside the cave. Jandamarra was hit and killed. His body was taken, and his head was severed as proof. It was sent south as a trophy, and never returned. For the Bunuba people, it was a tragedy. But it wasn't the end of his story. More than a century later, Jandamarra's name lives on. To the Bunuba nation, he's not a criminal, he's a hero, a symbol of resistance and pride. His story is taught in schools, performed in plays, and remembered in songs. Tunnel Creek, once his hideout, is now a place of pilgrimage. When people walk through that dark cave today, they remember the man who fought an empire, armed with nothing but courage, knowledge of country, and an unbreakable spirit. Jandamarra's fight may have ended in 1897, but his story reminds us of something timeless: that no empire, no army, no power on earth can truly conquer a people who refuse to be erased. Thanks for watching, guys.